So look, as a person who is an advocate for ethical game, this article does not make me happy. But at the same time, this is a warning to all you people who do it unethically. Stop that shit. Stop it. And especially if you're gonna do it, don't do it with Nintendo games. Don't do it with Nintendo games. For the simple fact that, one, I haven't read this article yet, but I'm gonna guess this was a dude who either had a very large library of games, he was bootlegging games before they came out early, or it was somebody who was a distributor ahead in the ring of piracy for games as soon as they come out. If you're a person who bootlegs games because you're cheap, I'm gonna need you to know, as somebody in the scene, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. You're blowing up the spot for everybody. Now, there's a difference between if you can't afford all the latest and greatest games and you're pirating, and if you're being cheap. In both scenarios, I would say, hey, bruh, if you ain't got enough money to buy the latest and greatest games, I don't think you should be thinking about the latest and greatest games. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. That shouldn't be your concern, right? Your concern should be, why can't I afford the latest and greatest games? Because I ain't got no money. You should be focusing on money, not a game. But for the people who do have the money and who are just being cheap, fuck you, because you're ruining it for everybody else. You got the money and you're sitting on it and being cheap with it. Like I said, I'm not the first part. For the people who couldn't afford it, think about why you can't afford it. If you can't afford it, you need to fix that. If you can, and you're just bootlegging because you want to be cheap, again, fuck you. Because like, you'll make all these complaints and have all these reasons, these bullshit reasons that just lead back to you're fucking cheap for why you pirate. Stop that shit. Go ahead, buy the game. If you don't, like, bro, stop letting FOMO take over. You don't have to play every game day one. Stop letting FOMO take over. You don't have to play every game week one. Stop letting FOMO take over. You don't have to play a game month one. You're not a content creator. You're not a YouTuber. You can wait a month or two till the game goes on sale. You could wait 4 months, 6 months, a year if you have to, for the game to go on sale and be cheaper to where you could buy the game at a lower entry point. You don't have to get every game day one, gang. You don't have to pre-order the Super Omega Collector's Edition of every game. Sometimes it's okay to get the regular edition. Okay? Humble yourself. Chill out. Relax. Relax. You're feeding and scratching to play the game day one, and you can afford to buy the game day one. Either buy it or wait till it goes on sale. Especially if the game is available on PC, it's gonna go on sale quick as fuck. But let's read about how the first video game piracy arrest happened as Japan enters a new era. Oh, modder of Nintendo Switch consoles. So my question was, what were the mods and what was the intention of his mods of the console? As reported by NTV News and translated by Automaton, a 58-year-old Japanese man was arrested on the 15th of January on suspicion of violating the Trademark Act. He is suspected of modifying Switch consoles to run... Oh. Hey, I can't justify that, my boy. I can't help you with that one. Not gonna lie, I can't help you with that one. Before selling them? Before? Now, unless they're saying that he basically made his own software so that people can try before they buy on some demo shit, unless that's what they're saying, I don't know, man. I don't know. We're gonna have to read more to see if I don't like this guy or if reasonable crash out. This was allegedly done by welding modified parts of... What the fuck? This was allegedly done by welding modified parts to the circuit boards of second-hand consoles that allowed them to run those type of games. The man is accused of loading the hardware with 27 illegally accessed games and selling all. So you're a fucking scammer. The way I'm gonna put what they're describing is like this. For those of you who don't understand what I just read, Basically, he would, you know how when you go on Amazon or AliExpress or the TikTok shop, they got those little game consoles that's basically like the soldier game, and it'll be like 3,000 plus games pre-installed type beat, and it'll have like all the old SNES games, all the old PlayStation games, all the old Xbox games, all the old Sega games, and all that already preloaded onto it when you buy it. He was doing that, but with Nintendo Switches. Not gonna lie. Nintendo, I'm gonna have to side with the Yakuza on this one. The Nintendo Ninjas, y'all got it. This is a reasonable crash out. Not gonna lie. This is a reasonable crash out. He has admitted to the charges and is currently being investigated for other possible violations, according to those police. Video game companies like Nintendo have long battled with piracy. A takedown and request in May 2024, for example, saw Nintendo target 8,000 copies of the Switch emulator Yuzu. That's just them talking about the whole Yuzu situation. For those of y'all who don't know, the short version is Yuzu was emulation software for the Nintendo Switch where what you call it? Basically, if you wanted to emulate Switch games on PC, you use Yuzu. Nintendo went to the creators of Yuzu and said, hey gang, y'all gonna have to take that down off the internet. And if you don't, there's gonna be some consequences. And that consequence is called the cease and desist, little nigga. Play with us. Play with us. And they went over to a similar emulator distribution called Ryujinx, because Ryujinx was similar to Yuzu. I don't know if they work off the same technology or not. It really doesn't matter because both of them were taken down. Legal action like this is becoming more and more common in an attempt to thwart piracy, however. For the Nintendo Switch emulator, when the Nintendo Switch last year was the most relevant console, I think it's somewhat fair. Even though it's not fun to admit, even though it's not cool, it's like, bro, people was using your shit to dip into Nintendo's pockets. I can't really be mad at Nintendo for trying to protect their investment. However, other what the fuck is this sentence? However, other successful lawsuits include those that they got on the screen. This week, a patent lawyer representing Nintendo lifted the lid on the company's approach to piracy and emulation, discussing how the propagation of emulators could lead to software piracy. Which is true. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be one of those people in denial. Yes, there are people who use Nintendo software to illegally play games. And to that, I would say, if you're one of those people playing modern Switch games and you're playing versions of the game and games that you don't own on the Switch software, shame on you, gang. Shame on you. Because I understand. If you want to play Switch games, technically the best way to play Switch games is on PC with an emulator, because then you could run everything at higher graphical settings. You could run things with with better frame rates. The games become more optimized. You can push the game to its limits more than you can on the Switch's hardware. Remember, we looked it up earlier. Switch only got 4 gigabytes of RAM. The average computer that's being built right now has 16, and we're moving towards the standardization of 32. Because me personally, I got 32 in mine, and I built mine in 2020. So the best way to run those games are on Yuzu. If that's what you're using Yuzu for, I have no problem with that. But if you're one of those people that's trying to get access to play Nintendo games early for to get views and whatnot, I don't fuck with you, gang. I don't fuck with you. Nintendo's assistant manager of the IP division, Koji In, said, to begin with, are emulators illegal or not? No. They're straight. In America, the answer is straight up no. The way that you get the games on the emulator, that's where the legality comes in, but the emulator itself is not illegal. This is a point often debated. While you can't immediately claim that an emulator is illegal in itself, it can be illegal depending on how it's used, which is the same thing I just said. So to all you people who pirate games because you're cheap, because you're lazy, stop. Please stop. The piracy scene is begging you, please stop. This one I just wanted to see the artwork for. Ooh, look at the Blade artwork. Oh, he's in the game apparently. So I mean, this is as close to confirmation that Blade's in the game that we're gonna get before he officially enters the game. But yeah, just in case you had any doubts about those leaks, yes, Blade will be in the game. Speaking about the game called Marvel Rivals, Marvel Rivals Studio does not want to sacrifice fun for the sake of competitive balance. Before we even talk about this topic, that headline, beautiful headline, got me interested immediately, because for people who play games casually, which is the majority of people who are gaming enthusiasts, we just play games for fun. This is something that we've been saying forever, and something that it came at a crazy time, because for my next video essay about hero shooters, this is one of the things that I mentioned was the downfall of Overwatch. They sacrificed competitive and casual fun for the sake of casual fun for the sake of competitive balance. Like, at one point Overwatch was very, very balanced, and that was before the pros came in and started figuring out all the glitches and exploits and abusing the fuck out of them. And like, I can understand developers taking those out, but sometimes they go too far with the changes and stuff like that, to the point to where it's like, dog, this game ain't even fun no more. Like, competitively is balanced, but competitively balanced games aren't always fun. Sometimes I want to see some broken stuff in my game. Sometimes I want to be able to pull off some bullshit in my game. While Marvel Rivals has been incredibly popular since its release, and especially since the launch of its first season, questions have arisen about the game's future, blah blah blah. When it comes to the competitive multiplayer, one of the biggest questions tends to be about how the game and its developers would handle tournaments. Chin, aka Guang, talks about how blah blah blah. We've actually been thinking about this on a broader scale, looking at the picture as a whole. Chin said in an interview, we really hope that when we do the competitive modes or tournaments, they will coexist with our quick play. I hope so too, because I'm not gonna lie, when you play Marvel Rivals, quick play is one type of game. Competitive, not only is the competitive format very, very different in terms of the way it's formatted and in terms of the way that you play the game, the things that people will hit you with and competitive are nothing compared to quick play. I mean, I meant to say it the other one. The things that people will hit you with and competitive are nothing compared to quick play. Because quick play, sometimes you might be going against bots. That's a known thing that happens in Marvel Rival. If you lose too much in quick play, they'll put you in matches against bots. Now, I don't know what the exact rules are, because I've been hearing different things from different people, but the consistent thing is, if you lose too much in Marvel Rivals and you hit that quick play queue, you might just get put in a match with bots. So that being known, sometimes in quick play, you're not even playing against real people. You're not. You're playing against bots. But in competitive, whether you're in Grandmaster, one above all, or in Bronze, you're playing against real people. So the game plays very differently in those two settings. Like, when I play quick play, I rarely ever lose anymore, because I've been forged by the fire of playing on PC so much that when I go in a quick play, I could get 10 kills and still carry, because I'm just so much better than the average person playing this game. Even though my rank might not reflect it, if you pay attention to how I play and look at my skill level, I'm not saying that I could go on any tournament level team and carry or nothing like that. But on the average team, since I am a person who knows how to flex, on the average team, I can make a character pick that could take the character to, that could take our game from losing to winning. And the knowledge I have of the map and the knowledge I have of the characters and the type of call outs I could make people who previously or who aren't as good at the game more aware of the mistakes they're doing in match through the middle of a match, to the point to where somebody who's terrible could go from ass to slightly less ass while we're playing in the match, because I'm giving them call outs and I'm telling them, yo, like, you still gotta do whatever you gotta do in the match, right? But somebody might be playing Groot and they might not think, if I'm Groot, Let me use my walls to cover up flanks, and let me use my walls and put them on the sides of the payload instead of in front of the payload, so that whenever people try to turn corners and fight us, and Groot is fighting and doing his little arm reach thing, that you get the extra bonus damage from the walls, because they might not know about the bonus damage. So I might tell them about that. So like, just my knowledge of the game, I could pull a team full of ass out of 10s up. Now that's in quick play. In ranked, not the same, because in ranked, everybody want to be toxic. Everybody want to swear to God they're a god at the game. It's like, yo, bro, in ranked, you got to relinquish your ego if you're trying to get wins, or you got to carry the team so hard that an ass tier team becomes a 10 out of 10 gold, gold and above team just in one game. We really hope that when we do competitive, that's because we've been seeing a lot of other successful titles being able to pull off a competitive environment in a quick way by both healthily at the same time. At the beginning, Overwatch. We'll be taking a lot of references from them and ultimately let both player pools thrive. I really like that idea. The reason why I like the idea of that is for the simple fact that it lets everybody be happy as best as it can. Because, like I said, I feel that too often developers start to try and tend to and care about what the competitive players say so much that they forget that out of the whole pie, out of 100% of the pie, maybe 10% of the people that play your game are actually competitive. Well, and I mean actually competitive as in they go into ranked mode and they sweat their ass off trying to get the gold, grandmaster, one above all, plat, whatever. Most people who play your game will not only never touch ranked, or if they do touch ranked one or twice, but they just straight up don't care. Most people who play games, they just want to get on the game. They just want to play as Jeff the Adorable Land Shark, go yummy, yummy, and then get off. You need to cater to them too, but you also need to take care of the competitive niggas. That's because we've been seeing Chen ultimately declares that the important thing for Marvel Rivals is that every type of player enjoys the game. The studio does not want to sacrifice enjoyment. I already talked about that. The team wants every kind of player to enjoy the game in their own way. So instead of just zeroing in on either tournament results or quick play, we're going to take a broader look at overall balance data on all heroes in all the modes. Yeah, because one thing that I always use as an example of bad balancing is how in Smash 4, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, in case you're not in the space, there's a character that was introduced named Little Mac, where on a competitive level, Little Mac was fucking awful, but on a casual level, Lil Mac was the great god tier GOAT of the game. And they nerfed him. Why did they nerf him? Because casual people were too capable of picking up the controller, going yay, 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 and being able to beat the shit out their opponents. So they nerfed the character so that casual play could be a bit more fun. And that's something that I think should be considered more when balance updates happens, because sometimes a character is only broken 1% of the time when you're playing people who are plat and above. Like if you log in a rank, go into a game, and the first thing you see before you pick characters is the character ban screen, 99% of the stuff that is being considered and talked about in patch notes shouldn't matter to you. Unless it's your character, you should literally skip past everybody else's shit and look at your character. Because why do you give a fuck? You're not going to tournaments, you're not going pro, bro. You're just playing the game just to have fun. Moving forward, we will be looking at hero pick rates and win rates in different scenarios. He said, once we have some more detailed analysis and thorough thoughtful consideration, will definitely make necessary balances and adjustments. It's all about creating a good experience for our players. It hasn't been that long since our launch, so we're going to continue to monitor everything and make sure everything feels right. Yeah, and as time goes on, as they add more and more characters, and as they make sure that every character they add has a counter, and that every character added has a fair amount of counters, they're gonna have to take in consideration balance more and more. Let's not forget what happened in original Overwatch. Before Overwatch free-to-play update, Doomfist, when he was introduced, if you're not in a competitive, if you never followed the competitive Overwatch scene, you would know about this. But Doomfist was really broken, and I don't mean in like he's really strong in a competitive scene mode. No, I mean like the character literally didn't work. Like there was a lot of glitches and bugs that people kept finding with Doomfist, where he was able to break the game because his moveset just ignored the rules of the game so hard. Oh, this one is more so about a game I wanted to put on your radar. I should have saved a trailer of the in-game. The world design of what's the name of this game? Cause like, oh, Dino Blade, that's what it's called. So for those of y'all who don't know, there's this game called Dino Blade where he made a meme a few years ago where he did a 3D art render of some dinosaurs playing with swords, and so many people were saying this looks cool, you should make it a game, to where he actually fucked around and turned it into a game. God damn, this is loud. And this is what the game looks like. Now, this is still early gameplay and whatnot. I just wanted to put this game on y'all's radar because it looks really freaking cool. You get to walk around as a big ass dinosaur and fight other dinosaurs with swords in their mouths. I wonder how pterodactyls are gonna play and what this game like is gonna be like on a more higher mechanical level once you really get into the game. The idea of this game looks cool. I just wanted to put it on your radar real quick. And like I said, I forgot to save the actual trailer. Also, something else I wanted to put on your radar, which is kind of funny to me. I don't even want to read the article. I just want to read the headline to y'all. Duolingo has seen a 216% increase in US users learning Mandarin to get around the TikTok ban. So long story short, there's this app called Red Note, which is essentially a fusion of TikTok and Instagram that people have been using, but most of the damn app is in Mandarin, which most Americans can't read. So what do they want to do? Instead of just giving up the idea of TikTok with the ban looming over us, they say, nope, we'd rather learn a new language than give up the idea of TikTok. I love the resilience of the American people. I just wanted to show it so I could say that, man. We would rather learn a new language than fucking listen to the government, man. You love to see it. That being said, I'm not hopping on the game today, on stream at least, because I got a lot of fucking things to edit. I got a lot of scripting to do for that video I was talking about. And yeah, click on my other videos over there. Peace.